Welcome back to Investing in Trading Live, sponsored by Trading Academy. In the last segment, we were talking about the predictions that the pros make, the quote unquote pros make, I should say, to make that a little more formal. And you can't predict the future. Nobody has a crystal ball. But what you can predict is how you take action in this new year, how you take action in your finances, but having a strategy that actually
Right.
does it. You can't just go out there and guess, which is a prediction, as Al was
Yeah,
talking
and
about
that's what a
earlier.
lot of people do, unfortunately, guess, and then as a result of that, you have to just hope.
You just yeah, which is not a good strategy financially. And if you want to take charge in your finances, since it is the New Year's, and I want to invite people to a New Year's resolutions class. And this is a class that's designed to teach you about the financial markets, whether you're brand new or you've been trading and investing for many years and looking for more consistency. We have these classes all across the metro. We're local here in Bloomington. We have a state-of-the-art facility, three different classrooms, teaching people just like you how to get in the markets safely and confidently. To come into one of these classes, simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210, and that's for 2 seats. When you do that, you'll get a text right back with a link. Make sure to click the link, and that will bring you right to our landing page, and you can just pick our own date. We have these classes during the week. We have them on the weekends. We have them on the in the evenings as well for you 9 to 5ers. Text the word investing to the number 210-210, or simply go to investwithota.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Al, we got roughly 40 something, 50 something thousand downloads on the podcast now. Thanks for all the loyal listeners on the podcast. That's Investing and Trading Live. Wherever you listen to the podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to that. We do sessions every single day. That way you can be up to date on your market activity. So, Al, in this next segment, I want to get into income opportunities, wealth opportunities, but really, since it is New Year's right now, we had Christmas. It was a great Christmas. No bah humbug in this studio here today, but it was a nice Christmas, and New Year's is right here, and it's going to be it's 2024 coming up. Now, people have goals financially. They have goals physically for fitness. People have goals for maybe relationships. There's a lot of different goals that people have, but a lot of times they fall through.
They do.
And it's not necessarily that they don't want to do it. It's just lack of planning. And you've helped people plan their finances here at the Academy. People come in and say, hey, I need an extra income strategy, and here's why. Or I need to work on my wealth strategy, and here's why. So it's all about planning and then having a step-by-step approach or strategy to follow that plan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some of the key components that people are coming in right now? We've seen a lot of New Year's resolutions people, especially that want to improve their finances somehow. What are some of the steps that you're adding in their plan or the strategy, especially if they are looking for another income strategy?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we have to know what their objective is. Are you looking for additional income, or are you just looking at building for wealth, building for tomorrow? Because the way you approach the markets is different for those two. So we look at everybody as an individual. There are a number of different assets you can trade. There are a number of strategies that you can use that would be right for you that might not be right for somebody else. So we kind of customize something for each person. We want to know more about each person that comes through our door. Where are you now? What does your life look like right now financially? And what do you want it to look like down the road? What are your goals? Maybe that's your that a resolution for the year. Change your financial life going forward. But how do you want to change it? Where should that change take you? And then we can help you decide what's the right assets or the right asset or assets and the right strategies to use to help you get there, because there is a best path for each person that, again, may not be the right path for somebody else. So if you're looking for income, really what does that mean? If you want additional income, it means that you want something that you can use now, something that can benefit you now. And by now, I don't mean 10 years from now or 20 years from now, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe next month.
It would be similar to their job income is what it would be
Yeah,
like.
exactly. You wouldn't take a job where you were only paid once every 10 years. That just wouldn't make sense, because your bills need to be paid when they come in. Now, being alive is not free. We all know that. And over the last year, that cost of being alive got even higher, even though the growth or the rate of inflation is coming down. That's the rate of inflation. That's the growth over the previous year, which is the growth over the previous year from that. So the numbers haven't come down. The cost of living is still up there. But if you need additional money, you have to be able to get into something and out of it on a short-term basis. And for each individual, that short term is a relative figure.
In your opinion, what would short term be, like weeks maybe, or days
It
even?
can be so for some people it's daily. Some people want to do this and reap the benefits on a daily basis. Some
Okay.
people maybe weekly. Some people maybe once a month or
So
a
some
couple
people
times a month.
like that instant gratification, basically, or, or
Sure,
or you can let investments or trades last a little bit longer, so there's
absolutely.
less screen time if you want to.
Yeah, this is the great thing. It's sort of like you're painting a picture. You decide how that picture is going to look. You decide how often you want to do this. Sometimes it's based on need. Sometimes it's just based on interest. And but again, that gets down to each person as being an individual. So you have to know what the assets are that are short term in nature, and what are they. Most people just know about the stock market and mutual funds, maybe some ETFs. Now, maybe some people are learning about cryptocurrencies and they're using that maybe for short term income.
Hmm.
But there are assets that are tried and true, I'm going to say, that have been used by the big players for years. You know, when you look at their performance in the market, compare the amateurs, the public, the retail traders, the public, compared their returns to what the professionals are getting. And professionals, I'm talking about people like Goldman Sachs or Warren Buffett or the hedge fund managers. There's a significant difference in the returns that each of those groups get. And oftentimes, those two groups, the retail traders, the amateurs, the public, are on the opposite side of a trade from the professionals. You know, and you want to make sure that doesn't happen to you. You can do almost everything that these professionals can do. You have access to the same assets that they are trading, the same kinds of strategies that they're using, if you'll take a little bit of time to learn what they are. But
Yep.
there are some that are short. All of these institutions and all the hedge fund managers, the pros, they're using these short-term assets.
Yep. And I want to talk about those short term assets coming up here, but I just want to add one thing there before we get into those short term
Sure.
assets. You mentioned people want to have instant gratification and have that daily income strategy or weekly income strategy. And I want to just clarify this for people so they understand this. You decide that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the benefit of trading or investing. You decide how active or passive you want to be in the markets, and that's strategies that we teach here at the academy. That's strategies that we cover in these and concepts in these workshops that we've been having a lot of people come into, especially during New Year's time because it's New Year's resolutions time. But we have these workshops that Al teaches. I teach these as well. And these are classes that are designed to teach you to make smart investing decisions. But also, if you're looking for an income strategy, the right asset to use for that. So just text the word investing to the number 210 for 2 seats for that workshop here at the academy. Or you can go to investwithota.com, and that's for 2 seats for this workshop right here at the academy. So those assets that are short term in nature, Al, I think you're referring to the futures market and the Forex market,
Yeah.
which are two markets that really give you that freedom of time.
Mhm.
Now, why is that?
Well, it just so happens that they're open almost 24 hours a day. The Forex market is 24 hours a day. The futures market, almost 24 hours a day. So you can choose when you want to do it. Not only can you choose the asset you want to trade, how often you want to do it, but you now can choose the time of day or night that you want to do it. A lot of people work during the day and have jobs where it would be frowned upon if they were spending time on their computer, maybe looking at something not related to their job,
It's
like
just like
trades.
speeding. It's not a recommendation.
Correct. Yeah, there you go. And also, I want to make it clear that when we're talking about short term, I think, unfortunately, what pops into people's heads is them sitting at a computer all day watching this because it's what we call short term.
Yeah, let's address that.
That is not the case. What we think is extremely important is to not spend time in front of a computer. If you complain about where you are financially, You want to look at the customer service department and complain, just hold up a mirror, and that's you. You're the customer service department. You're the biggest enemy you have as a trader because of the emotions and the psychology as a human being that gets involved in your trades and investments. So if you learn how to look at a price chart, look at a price chart on your computer as kind of let me use an analogy of you going in for an x-ray. If you go in for an x-ray, they don't come into the exam room with the film, slide it over to you and say, here, you figure this out. There's something on that film that needs to be identified, but it's done by somebody who has been trained on how to do it.
That's the key, has been trained on how to do it. And anybody, well, I don't want to say anybody can be trained to do some of that, but if you have a desire, there's strategies to be able to read that,
Yeah.
same as the price chart.
Yeah, and there are places to go to get that training, and
Correct.
it just so happens that we are one of those places, the Trading Academy. But on a price chart, everything you need to know is there, which everything you need to know to do this, to what we call preset a trade. So you will look at a price chart, you can identify where the best price is on that chart to make an entry that gives you the highest probability of it working in your favor, which is key to being successful, but also it will show you if there's enough profit potential there for you to put your money into that particular asset, and it shows you how to be protected. Then you preset it. So you tell your trading platform, get me in at this price. What if I'm wrong? Well, get me out at this price. I'm willing to risk maybe $5 on a trade or 50 cents on a trade or $1. You determine that. You have already preset that, so that's your potential risk. And then also, is there profit, and how do you identify where that profit is? That's what we show you how to read on a price chart. So you get all three of those components set. There's three components to a trade: your entry, your exit if you're wrong, your exit if you're right. All of those are preset. Then the best thing you can do is turn your computer off and go out and have some fun or do something, to improve your life.
Yeah, as you're talking there, I'm just kind of visualizing something in my head, and I keep seeing you decide this. You get to decide this. You get to decide that. It almost feels like election season, and it's the commercials. You decide, right? But that's the great thing about the financial markets is you decide your time, and you decide your capital as well.
Yeah.
Having a leveraged asset allows you to use less capital, especially compared to the stock market. So that's another thing that you decide. So you're not stuck to just doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is what a lot of people will do.
Yeah.
Is spin their wheels, and not saying the stock market is a bad asset. It's just it's not right for everybody.
Yeah.
And if you don't know if it's right, well, then you don't know. It's kind of like having it's wintertime. Fortunately, we haven't had a whole lot of snow yet, but it would be kind of like having a Corvette with rear wheel drive. And it's only a convertible in the winter. It's a great vehicle, but it might not be right for you, especially during the wintertime. You might want an SUV or a pickup or even at least a front-wheel drive car that has great tires on it. So that's the difference is you decide the asset, you decide the vehicle, but you need the strategy to follow through with that, and that's what we do at Trading Academy. And you were just mentioning something earlier, too, about if you want to complain to the customer service area, you can just hold a mirror. And I took that advice a while back, and every time I hold a mirror up, I see Brad Pitt every single time.
Here we go again. Brad Pitt has called now 3 times telling you to take that picture off of your mirror and stop referring to him on the air.
Oh, man. I'm just trying to just paint that picture for our listeners, how handsome I am.
I am inviting everybody listening to come in and compare Josh to Brad Pitt.
Oh, man.
Let's
if
do it.
If they're watching the YouTube stream, they're like, that's Shrek out there. But anyways, we have a lot of people that want to come into these investing classes. So I do have to give away some seats for that, Al. It's getting close to the end of the segment here. And these classes, these workshops that we host here at Trading Academy are designed to teach you those income strategies, how to decide which one is the right one for you based on your time, your schedule, your capital. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210, and that's for 2 seats for that workshop here at the Academy. We have these classes during the day, during the evenings, and the weekends, so pretty much anybody can attend. You can also go to investwithota.com and you can pick your own date there. That goes straight to our landing page. So coming up next, Al, I want to talk about those wealth assets. Since we talked about those income assets, let's talk about those wealth assets that people have: IRAs, 401ks. I want to make smarter investing decisions with those. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We will be right back.